Welcome to the big show. This is Investing with Confidence. I am your host, Joshua David, and always, we are happy to have you with us today. I do have my good friend, my good pal, the stock master, the genius around here, the mastermind of this whole operation, Mr. Al Connickson. Al, how are you doing today?
Well, for a second there, I thought there was somebody else in the room with us.
Hey, you're the mastermind around here, Al.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey.
I'm doing fantastic. How about you, Jim?
I'm doing good. You've been eating that humble pie, haven't you?
a little bit, little bites here and there.
Yeah, it's always great to be back, helping our listeners make better and smart investing decisions. And Al, we have a lot to talk about here today.
Yeah,
Before we do that, we just want to talk about our sponsor, Online Trading Academy. On their 25th year, teaching people just like you how to trade and invest in the financial markets. When we talk about the financial markets, they have education and content on stocks, options, futures, and Forex. Right here at a local academy, right here in Bloomington, easy to get to, right out of 494. Al, we had some great moves in these markets this week. It kind of dropped a little bit, but there's something else I want to talk about is this inflation that's been happening. They've been talking about, inflation. It's going higher and higher and higher. I just want to talk about something real quick, and I want to get into it more maybe in the second segment.
Right.
But just how much of an impact it is. I mean, I was just going to go buy an item the other day at the store, and it was going to increase 20% right after I bought it. He said, "Oh, good thing you bought this now because I was going to increase that price 20%." And I was like, "Wow, inflation is really here." But we want to help our listeners fight it, combat this inflation that's happening. There's some things that people are doing, and we're seeing a lot of people come to Online Trading Academy to have the opportunity to have more income potential in their life. Because if you have inflation happening and you still are stuck to your same one job, you need something to supplement that and something to overtake that. So let's talk about that here today.
Yeah.
How do you help people make better and smarter investing decisions and have better opportunity with their life?
Yeah, well, first of all, let me make another comment about inflation or comments about inflation. We just had these huge numbers. It's the highest that we've had in the last 31 years. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of people, a lot of investors out there that have never experienced inflation really much over 2%. We're talking 6, almost 7% now. You mentioned that product you were talking about. I'm not sure what it was, but even Kraft announced that their prices are going to go up pretty much across the board by 20%.
Yep.
And
it's actually worse in the Midwest right now.
The Midwest is one of the worst. But, the CPI numbers, and we're talking about those 6%, 7%, what's not included there? Food and energy.
Yeah.
Now, how often do we need food? How often do we need energy? And what kind of, increase in inflation are we seeing there? Significant.
Yeah.
So it can have a huge impact on people's returns. We talk about fees as one of the things that can really impact how you end up financially. Well, inflation could have a big impact on that too, and we'll talk about that going forward.
Yeah.
But a lot of people when they think about education, they think about going through years of things and all these complicated things they need to learn. And what we want to do is try to simplify this as much as possible. And here's really the primary component of being successful in the markets. It's learning the techniques to see what others are doing based on the imprint that they leave on a chart, on a price chart. So who are the others that I'm talking about? Because there's two main groups that are involved in the markets. And one is the retail trader. That's the public. That's basically amateur traders. They trade primarily based on feeling and emotions. Mm-hmm. And how can we use that to our advantage? Well, on a price chart, we can tell where they're overly euphoric about something, which is typically where we should be looking for selling opportunities when they're buying.
Yeah. What's funny there, Al, is you mentioned people make emotional decisions in the financial markets. Anytime you go do anything or buy something, they say, well, I'm not going to make an emotional decision right now.
Right.
But they do that with their hard-earned money. It's really sad.
Right. Well, and that's one of the things you have to control as a trader. You cannot let that emotion be used against you. But the institutions, the professional traders do exactly that. They know how the emotions of the individual traders, the retail trader, they know how those emotions are going to impact their trading ideas. I mentioned the euphoria part. That's typically what we see before a market correction. Well, that's where maybe we look at some selling opportunities. When people panic, that's typically when you see some of the best buying opportunities. And if you look at this group, the retail traders, about 90% of them that do this, that try to do this, lose. So where do they get their ideas? Well, from news, from TVs, from social media, from friends. They use fundamental analysis, technical analysis, all of those things. And if they're losing about 90% of the time, why would you want to use those things? Why would you want to follow what they're doing? Because the other group, I mentioned there's two groups. The other group that we can see the activity of on a price chart are the pros, the big institutions. If they're successful, and they are, typically they're successful closer to 90% as opposed to the other group that's losing 90%. If they're successful, why don't we just follow what they're doing? So to be really successful, you need to learn and use a repeatable process or repeatable strategy, which leads to success over time. And, what is that process and why is it successful? Well, the process is actually timing the market. Mm-hmm. And what have you been told? You've been told, well, you can't time the market. And you've been told that time and time again by people that do exactly what they just told you can't do. They're timing the market. They're moving it. So being able to read on a price chart or identify on a price chart where they're actually active, where are their trades, where are their unfilled orders that are going to move the price of something, that's what our strategy does. It helps you to identify those turning points or the moving points in price of any asset in any market.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Is who is telling you can't time the market? It's the people that are managing your money. Why do they do that? Well, they get paid to do that. It's a very lucrative business, and they are salespeople, right? And nothing against the people. They're very nice people. I actually have some friends that are brokers and advisors. But
hey, I used to be one,
and you used to be one. But the business or the industry is almost set up for them and not the consumer or the client. And that's why we're seeing so many people come to Online Trading Academy, realizing that, hey, I might be able to do things differently by doing it myself. Right, understanding how to manage your own portfolios, minimize or hopefully even eliminate those fees. But you do need a technique and a strategy that's repeatable, as Al was talking about. Online Trading Academy has a core strategy that's designed to teach you to make smart investing decisions and do that with confidence. So I want to give away some tickets to an investing class for callers 1 through 10 right here in Bloomington. We have these classes during the week. We also have these on the weekend. And these are classes where we've taught thousands. Just like you, are many strategies, and these are designed to teach you to make better and smarter investing decisions. So just call 952-814-4410. If you call in right now, I'm going to get you a financial quick start kit, which will help you get started right away. So 952-814-4410. You can also text the word invest to the number 484848. You're going to receive a text back with a link. That link is actually otamin.com. So if you want to go straight to the website, if you like to make it easy, just go to otamin.com and register for one of these free classes. They're about 2 hours. And you know what? Al and I teach these both as well. 952-814-4410. Coming up next, Al, I want to talk about those techniques and strategies to follow and to learn to trade like the smart money. We'll be right back.